Good morning, Patriots. How are you today? This is Mike Cook coming to you live from Central Missouri. It is approximately 8:32 a.m. on 4/7/2021, the year that we get our victory, I do believe. So with that, I hope you all are having a great day. It's a little rainy here in Central Missouri, but April showers bring May flowers. So the farmers aren't liking it because they can't get their crops in, but they're liking it because it's putting moisture in the ground. So it's, a double-edged sword. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope it's beautiful and sunny where you are. But if it's not, hey, it's springtime. You get what you get, right? So as you're jumping on, do me a favor. If you're on here watching on Facebook right now, I'm live simulcasting on Facebook and YouTube. So if you're watching on Facebook, do me a favor. If it's your first time watching me, go over, drop out, hit that follow button. Follow me on Facebook or send me a friend request, whichever. I still got a few friend requests I can do. They give you up to 5,000 for that. But also, make sure you go and put this as a priority, because see, one of the things Facebook does is they limit my reach by not telling you I'm live, even if you're following me. That's intentional. And, sometimes they'll take my videos down or whatnot. It is what it is. So if you're watching on YouTube, do me a favor, subscribe, ring the bell, hit the like button. I'd really appreciate that if you do that right now. And then share this with a friend. If you're on Facebook, share this with a friend right now. Somebody needs to hear this information because, well, I'm going to try to give you some hope by the end of this and kind of tell you what's going on around the world. Every video I do, as I said, I'm live on Facebook and YouTube right now, but every video gets loaded to Rumble and to Telegram. Those are my, right there. If you just search, just type that t.me/Patriot Mike Thoughts. That'll take you right to it. The link is on my page in a couple places on Facebook. As I do my research, looking things up for my shows, and I do it periodically throughout the day, I read certain things. I post it all there. I'd say a good 90% of it never makes it onto this show. So if you want to know what I'm thinking about, especially the more controversial stuff, especially the more 17 stuff, because that's all gets really muted on the other social platforms, but it's still free. We're still free to discuss things like that on Telegram for now, until they decide to shut that one down too. So we'll see what happens. I'm on some of the other socials, but I'm not really using them, so I'm not really sharing those right now. But as you're jumping on, say hi, where you're watching from. I do go through and read the comments. I try to comment back when I can. I do appreciate everybody doing what they're doing. And just for my local peeps, I'll just let you know, we had our election yesterday. The turnout was not what we wanted 100%, but we got two fire-breathing young ladies on the Pettis County Health Board. That 3 would have switched the board completely to control of the people of Pettis County, but instead we just got 2, so it's 2-3 now. But we got the good 2. Let me tell you what, it's going to be entertaining at best. Be great for a show like mine, putting some of those videos up, I know. And we got one person reelected onto the school board. The other one missed it by 70 votes. I mean, it was ridiculously how close that election was. And we had a massive turnout. Last time around, we only had like 300 people turn out in a county of 42,000 people, give or take. 300 people for the last election cycle like this one. And then we had like 4,700 turnout, which is really good for this area. So that was surprising, and it turned out well. So that's how the election, I was doing those interviews and stuff. Expect more of that as time goes on, and maybe some statewide elections too. So I've had some people reach out to me. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll get some nationwide election interviews. Wouldn't that be cool? Anyways, moving on. The news today, what's going on, what's happening, what's breaking, all kinds of happenings going on, all kinds of things to talk about. Like, for example, exclusive, Biden's DHS may restart border wall construction to plug gaps. They're having a little problem down at the border. Well, it's not a problem. AOC says it's no problem at all. It's perfectly fine. When President Trump was, it was, oh my God, oh. But now it's Joe Biden, and they said that the numbers are up 700%. That containment facilities to hold these people are 700% fuller than they can hold. And it's no big deal now. It's no problem. We're good to go. But anyways, they've decided that they're going to start building the border wall again, because they can't control the situation. Department of Homeland Security, and I don't know why they have to name this dude Alejo Alorondo. Well, I don't know. I'm not going to try. Told department employees he may restart the border wall construction to plug what he called gaps in the current border wall. There wouldn't be gaps in the current border wall if you guys didn't stand in Trump's way for 4 freaking years, you Democrats and Republicans. And if the first executive order that this current faux president signed when he entered the fake Oval Office wasn't to stop the border wall, there wouldn't be gaps in the border wall right now, and this would be a lot more controllable situation. But hey, who's counting anyways? In a conversation with the Immigration and Custom Enforcement employees last week, Mr. Morak, whatever his name is, was asked about his plans for the wall. And he said, while President Biden has canceled the border emergency and halted Pentagon money flowing to the wall, that leaves room to make decisions on finishing some gaps in the wall. Huh. Wasn't that a coincidence that all of a sudden now they want to finish some gaps in the wall? The president was on, I don't remember which show this was, Newsmax. Yeah, the president was on Newsmax the other day, and this is what he had to say about this.
It does take that kind of drive, and it takes tremendous strength and enthusiasm and everything that you can imagine. I mean, you need the highest levels of every ingredient necessary. I mean, it's a full-time. When I say full-time, it's 50 hours a day, and you understand what I mean by that. It's a lot of work, and I think other people are making most of the decisions, but I may be wrong about that. I don't know. Look, I debated him, and I was, a little surprised at what was being said.
Let's talk about.
I don't really know him very well, but to be honest with you, somebody's making decisions. Let's put it this way: Bernie Sanders, if he ever won, he would never have gone anywhere near this. He cannot believe what's going on. This is Bernie Sanders on steroids. Our country's becoming a socialist nation. This is Bernie Sanders on steroids. And the only good thing to come out is now they finally agreed, after screwing up the construction, which was going along perfectly, was going to be finished soon. They finally agreed to rebuild or to complete the wall, which shouldn't take them a long period of time. But that's a good thing. That's a very good thing.
They finally decided to complete the wall, Donald Trump's wall. Well, watch the media. Watch the media. They'll be out next week or so just touting how important it is that we build Joe Biden's wall. They'll be shouting and screaming and hollering. If Joe Biden decides, if they really go after this to build this wall, the media will be 100% pro-wall. We got to have a wall. We got to stop the invasion. Watch how they switch on a dime, where it was the most racist, bigoted, homophobic, tragic thing that you could ever do to small children when President Trump suggested it. But when Faux Joe and the Ho decide to do it, well, by golly, that's the most important security measure we could ever take in this country. Just watch. Just watch. I don't know if they'll actually complete this, but it'd be fun to watch. You know what I mean? It's just entertaining at its best. And speaking of entertaining at its best, here's a little article I found. Find this quite interesting. This is virtually no. See, Kamala Harris went to her hometown in Oakland for the first time since she was faux inaugurated, as the faux ho. And she returned to her hometown, and the crowds were evident. She got 81 million votes as vice president, according to the Dominion polls. And she returned to her hometown in Oakland for the first time since inauguration. And you can see the crowds there in that picture, crowd of one, and a bunch of cops. And don't mind those commercials. And so we got this little video of her driving in. I hope you can see. It's just real small on your screen. I apologize. I can make it bigger, but I don't want to. But this is her driving in to the it's pouring down rain right now. I don't know if y'all can hear that on the camera. I mean, on the microphone. Not there.
My daughter called me, and I got up, put a sweat on, and came out to see Kamala Harris. I am so excited. This is a very special day.
Very special day. There's the crowd standing there to greet Kamala Harris. I don't know if you can hear it, but it is absolutely pouring right now. I got a metal roof. It's deafening in here. I don't know if the mic's picking it up or not. So let me scroll down a little further. Here's another video of the crowds standing around to greet Kamala Harris.
And I was in bed sleeping. My daughter called me.
Oh, and that was still playing. Hold on. Okay. And a third video of the crowds as they're coming to meet Kamala Harris. Well, this is them leaving. This is them wishing them bon voyage and farewell as she's leaving the compound here in Oakland, California. Anyways, I just thought I'd bring that to you. It's kind of interesting how they're just turning out for the most popular vice president. Oh, here's a few people with their little signs and a flag. They're just turning out in droves and droves and droves for the most popular, most voted for vice president candidate in the history. And she's really just a severe dementia episode of becoming president of the United States. So if that doesn't make you feel good, I don't know what will, right? Anyway, moving on from that one. What's this one say? Let's see. Oh, this might be part of the reason why they're considering redoing the border wall thing. This is a release. This is from George News. It's a media release that was deleted, but they released it, then deleted it. It says 2 Yemeni men arrested by Border Patrol identified on the FBI's terrorist watch list. The release date of this was April 5th, 2021. And I think that's Calexico. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I'm from Southern California. I don't know. Calexico, California. No, it's Calexico. U.S. Border Patrol agents assigned to the El Central sector arrested 2 Yemeni men within the last 2 months who were identified on a terrorist watch list. The first incident occurred on January 29th, approximately at 1:10 a.m., when agents assigned to the El Central section arrested a man for illegally entering the United States. Agents apprehended the man approximately 3 miles west of the Calexico port of entry and transported him to El Central Processing Center for immigration and criminal history screening. Additionally, agents found a cellular phone SIM card hidden underneath the inside of his shoe. The man was transferred to the custody of Immigrant and Customs Enforcement. The second incident occurred on March 30th at approximately 11:30 p.m. when agents assigned to El Central Station arrested a man for illegally entering the United States. Agents apprehended the man approximately 2 miles west in the same exact location of the Calexico port of entry and transported him to El Central Processing Center for immigration and criminal history screening. Agents conducted record checks which revealed the man, a 26-year-old illegal alien from Yemen, was also on the FBI terrorist watch list and no-fly list. The man is being held in federal custody pending removal. Part of the Border Patrol's mission states that we protect the country from foreign terrorists, said Chief Patrol Agent Gregory K. I'm just terrible with names today. Every day, as a matter of fact, Bovino. Today, like every other day, our agents did that. These apprehensions at the border illustrates the importance of our mission and how we can never stop being vigilant in the everyday mission. Okay, here's the thing. That's 2. Uno, dos. For the Mexican folks, right? 2. How many does that really represent that gets across the border? That's kind of important that we stop those people. Maybe we should build a wall. Who knows? Because, the world's kind of getting a little crazy on us right now. For example, just in The U.S. is discussing with allies to boycott the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics. Okay. Why? I mean, Joe Biden said that they're not our enemy. We just need to understand them better, and they need to make another donation of $1 billion. So why are we boycotting them? The Chinese, that is? Huh. And then there's this. Israeli-Iran sea skirmishes escalate as mine damages Iranian military ship. The explosion came the same day as progress was reported in talks to revive the Iran nuclear deal which Obama-Biden put in place, which Israel opposes, of course. An Iranian military vessel stationed in the Red Sea, watch the Red Sea, was damaged by an apparent Israeli mine attack on Tuesday in an escalation of the shadowy Navy skirmish. Hey, I forgot to mention it. I hope you have a nice, warm, hot cup of coffee to help you out with this day. I know I need it. The damaged vessel, which the Iranian news media identified as Savez, came as progress was reported on Tuesday, the first day of talks to revive the American participation in the 2015 nuclear agreement between Iran and major world powers. Israel, which regards the Iran as the most potent foe, strongly opposes the restoration of the agreement, which was abandoned by Trump administration 3 years ago. Several Iranian news outlets showed images of flames and smoke billowing from stricken vessels in the Red Sea, but the full extent of the damages or any casualties is unclear. The Savez, technically classified as a cargo ship, was the first vessel deployed for military use that is known to have attacked in the Israeli-Iran, has been attacked in the Israeli. Okay. So it's a cargo ship, but it's deployed for military use. Social media account of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps said that the vessel has been deployed in the Red Sea for some time to combat pirates. The Tasnim, that's the outlet there in Iran, news agency, the media outlet of the Revolutionary Guard, said that the Savez has been damaged by a mine that was attached to the vessel. There are no official Iranian confirmation of the attack on Tuesday night, but several Telegram social media channels operating by members of the Revolutionary Guards blamed Israel for the explosion. Agents conducted, that's the wrong one. How'd that get there? We'll just get rid of that one. So anyways, you got a whole bunch happening. An American official said that Israeli has notified the United States, Israel's having notified the United States, that its forces struck the vessel, Savaz, at about 7:30 a.m. local time. The Israelis had called the attack a retaliation for earlier Iranian strikes on Israeli vessels. So there you have it. As we have Russian forces and Ukrainian forces building up over in the Donbass area of the Crimea, you have defense pacts between Poland and Lithuania and Czechoslovakia. You have defense pacts between Ukraine and Turkey. You have China threatening Japan, Taiwan, South Korea, Burma, even entering into Burma. A lot of things are happening all of a sudden from the greatest peacetime president, faux president, in the American history, other than Barack Hussein Obama, because that's what the media is telling us, right? Yet the world seems to be in a tailspin of catastrophe right now. So I don't know what to tell you other than report the news to you. But there is some good news on other fronts if you'd like to hear about it. For example, Ghislaine Maxwell's prosecutor disclosed almost 3 million pages of evidence. So they just introduced 3 million pages of evidence into her trial, which is going to have one of its first hearings coming up in the next week or so, where she will have to attend. 3 million pages. So a friend of mine just sent me a message this morning, and I'm going to throw him under the bus by using what he sent me. I'm not going to name him. And he said, I did some quick and dirty math. If 500 sheets of paper is approximately 2 inches thick, then 2.7 million pages of paper is about 112,000 feet thick. That's insane. That is 21 miles thick of paper evidence on Maxwell. That's a lots of papers, my friends. I imagine that's probably not all digital. They're not toted in totes. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? Just that thought crossed my mind. Like in the movie It's a Wonderful Life, where the judge says, place it right here on my desk. You know, they post office brings in all the letters. Anyways, that would be fun to watch that on TV. It just jumped in my head. I don't know where I'm going with it. Her life is crazy. It's got a bunch of news, bunch of things happening. It's insane. You do realize, if you don't know who this Maxwell chick is, this is the girlfriend, partner, business partner, madam, girl getter, whatever she was for Epstein. That's who this gal is. She's completely connected with Epstein. She's also connected, by the way, with the Gates Foundation, Hillary and Bill Clinton, the Kumos. There's a bunch of folks connected with her. Did you know that she's a sub pilot? I mean, she could operate submarines. Is that not weird? Do you know she has an island just right there? She owns an island right there near Epstein's Island, and that she has a sub base there. That's kind of weird, right? It's interesting. I don't know what it means, if it means anything. Just weird. So Candace Owens, I found this post the other day. It was talking about the, as you know, Major League Baseball has moved the All-Star game from Atlanta to Colorado because I guess they wanted a more wider community. I don't know. But they're all upset that Georgia has passed draconian Jim Crow election laws, like requiring that you provide a valid ID when you go vote. I know it's a terrible thought, right? But anyways, Candace Owens has talked about that particular thing, and she says, any corporation telling you that voter ID laws are racist is run by a white supremacist. Black people know how to get IDs. Pretending we are too stupid to figure out how to get to the DMV is an insult and speaks volumes about what Democrats truly think about us. Hello. Remember, guys, the Democrats did not cheat during the 2020 election cycle with unverified mail-in ballots. They are only freaking out about Georgia requiring ID because they truly believe black people are too dumb to find the DMV. They're trying to help, not cheat. That's also Candace Owens. Think about that. Those are the options. Either they're trying to cover up the fact that they cheated like crazy, or they truly believe that black people are too stupid to get an ID. Those are the two. That's what they're saying. If it's racist to make you present an ID, Delta and American Airlines have said that they're going to pull out of Atlanta because of that. So someone asked them, they said, does that mean you no longer require ID to get on your aircraft? To which they said, you must have ID to get on an aircraft. So they don't want black people flying on their aircraft because they think black people are too dumb to get an ID? Or are they just trying to cover up the cheating? I know. I'm stepping on people's toes, and I'm not supposed to talk about this because I'm the wrong color. I get it. But if you feel that way, you're the racist, not me. Because she makes a valid point. Any corporation telling you that voter ID laws are racist are run by white supremacists because they believe that black and brown skinned people, as they would say in Congress, AOC, are dumb. Too stupid to get an ID. I sell cars on, I tote the note cars. I'd say 50% of my business are people with darker complexion than me, which isn't hard, I understand. And every single one of them, when I ask for their ID, because I won't tote the note unless I know who they are, because I got to be able to find the car when they don't make their payment. Every single one of them has an ID. Not every one of them has a driver's license, but did you know that you could go down to the DMV, at least here in Missouri, and get a state ID for free? They take your picture. You got to bring your birth certificate and some other documents to prove that you are who you say you are. And then they just give you an ID. And then you can carry that around with you. And there you have an ID to prove that you are who you say you are. Isn't that amazing? It's like magic. But requires ID to purchase a car, requires an ID to purchase cigarettes and alcohol. If I go in, I don't drink, but sometimes my wife likes to have a beer or something like that. So if I go in to buy my wife a beer at the liquor store, just 2 blocks from my business, she says, honey, I really like to have a Coors Light tonight. Or a Coors Light, shouldn't drink that. Bud Light. My grandfather drank Coors Light. And so I go buy her a bottle of Bud Light on my way home. Look at me. They ID me. Why? Because that's the law. And they're covering their bases. I don't care. I don't drink anyways. Never have. Not condoning if someone wants to drink, fine with me. I don't give a rip. But if it takes an ID to buy alcohol, if it takes an ID to get on an airplane, if it takes an ID to get on the train that goes right by the house right by the shop every once in a while, if it takes an ID to do anything in life, my son just joined the military. He raised his right hand and swore anyways. He still hasn't graduated high school yet. He had to prove every which way from Sunday who he was. Amazing, isn't it? Moving on from that, moving on to the next story. This is the next story. Be careful with private storage, just as dangerous as bank storage. What are we talking about? We're talking about safe deposit boxes and your silver. Here's the thing. I've been talking about how I purchase silver. I'm not a professional. I don't play one on TV, and I didn't stay in a Holiday Inn. So I'm not giving any advice. This is my opinion. Okay. I buy silver all the time. All the time, I buy silver. I buy gold. I buy anything I can buy, to tell you the truth. But I've been holding my silver right now because I think that something's about to change. Yeah, it's a little bit of a gamble. But the other thing is, I was going to bring some examples here and I forgot to do it. But if the economy was to go to hell in a handbasket and printing $30 trillion out of blue sky, Weimar Republic, anyone? You may need something to buy bread and water and milk and eggs and gasoline with. And if you had a bunch of silver, dimes, nickels, not nickels, silvers, dimes, quarters, half dollars, and dollars, you might be able to negotiate. That's my theory anyways. But this article says, be careful where your private storage, just as dangerous as bank storage. The government will find a way to seize what's rightfully yours under the pretense imaginable, as in the case of California just recently. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. If you don't hold it. Now, this story is a little bit convoluted as far as the point I'm trying to make and the point that this original post was trying to make, but this is from the LA Times. Oh, this isn't. This is continuing from this. This is the LA Times article here. When federal agents descended on Beverly Hills Strip Mall last month, it took them 5 days to seize the contents of hundreds of safe deposit boxes in the store called U.S. Private Vaults. On Friday, the government revealed why it was so interested in the seemingly mundane business wedged between a nail salon and a spa. It was laundering money for drug dealers and letting them stash guns, fentanyl, and stacks of $100 bills in security boxes that were rented anonymously, prosecutors alleged. Let's see. Oh, that's the story. Okay. So what they're saying is, if you have an unsafe box or a safe deposit box at a crony bank who shall remain nameless, any bank really, and they are found guilty, and a transition happens overnight. So let me read this again. If you have a unsafe deposit box or safe deposit box at a crony bank who shall remain nameless, any one of the banks, any Federal Reserve bank, and a transition happens overnight. In other words, a collapse, a run, government shuts down everything down because stuff goes there. A shift, shall we say, happens overnight, and they are found guilty. What will they do with the contents of the bank while it's closed as a bank holiday or whatever? They did this over in Europe when the bank started failing. They closed them for a few days. That's why I say have enough cash to survive for a couple of weeks out of the bank, because if the bank's closed and the ATMs don't work, what are you going to do? Will bank creditors freeze safe deposit boxes during litigation? In other words, will they make your safe deposit box safe while they're going through a collapsing bank scenario? Or will bank creditors freeze the safe deposit boxes during litigation? It's a legal question, and people usually think it's a conspiracy theory question, or they have absolutely no idea if it's actually possible. You are free to test it. Why do you think safe deposit boxes are so inexpensive? Reminds me of cheap, unallocated, pooled silver accounts. In other words, the accounts I was talking to you about the other day, where you purchase silver and they hold it for you, safe, like at the Perth Mint in Australia that's run out of silver. You see, I got a friend, and he's been buying silver coinage for years and years and years, and he has a lot of it. And he stores it in safe deposit boxes in various banks, spreads it around, which is probably a good idea. But what happens if there's a banking collapse? And they get in there and they open, well, they can't take the contents. That's my safe deposit box. Huh. You going to stop them? I'm just putting that out there. Just putting it out there. Do with that information with what you want to do with it. Okay? Just putting it out there. Already read that one. Okay. Moving on to the next story. A few years ago, I had a customer that told me a story about her bank, Wells Fargo. Anyways, she said that they hired a locksmith to come in during a time when everything was shut down and rekey every deposit box. She knows precious metals were removed. This was at a time when bullion was not allowed to have, so she lost it. And she couldn't report it because it was, you get what she said? Do you know that back in the 30s, they passed a law that said you can't have gold anymore and you have to turn it all in? Remember that? Well, you don't probably remember that. Maybe your grandparents do. Made it illegal. At a time when bullion was not allowed to have, for a long time after that, you weren't allowed to have it. That this well-known bank, you can figure out who she's talking about, hired locksmiths to come in during a time when everything was shut down and rekey deposit boxes, and she had precious metals removed, in other words, gold, and she couldn't report it because it was illegal for her to have. So don't tell me that your safe deposit box is safe. Anybody following that? Buy your silver, hold it in your hands, stack it, count it every day, make you feel good. You know, you can be like, 1 silver coin, 2 silver coin, 3 silver coin, It's fun. You got to try it. Anyways, moving on. So apparently there was a anti-lockdown protest today in front of the Italian parliament in Rome. This was yesterday. And look who showed up. It was Horny Dude. That's weird. That Horny Dude guy gets around. I just thought that was interesting. That's why I put that there. A lot of interesting things going on, you know, from the ships over there. Did you know Jeff Bezos has a super yacht that can convert to a submarine? $5 billion yacht. Is that not awesome? You know, Rush Limbaugh once told a story when people were complaining about how much football players were making, and they were talking about the time it was Seattle Seahawks when they won a couple Super Bowls and they gave their quarterback a whole bunch of money, and they were complaining. And Rush Limbaugh said, it's not the guy who receives that check, it's the guy who writes that check. He was talking about the owner of the Seattle Seahawks and his 150 or 250 foot yacht out in the ocean that has a crew of like 40 or 50 people, and it takes more money than that check for that superstar football player to put gasoline in that boat or whatever it runs on, fuel oil, whatever it is. Jeff Bezos has a $5 billion yacht that can convert to a submarine. And you know that it's anchored off in that lake just off of the Ever Given ship? Isn't that weird? If you want to read more about that, my Telegram page has that article on there. Also, you know what? Rupert Murdoch has a $1 billion sailboat thing. And it's anchored in the same place. I'm sure it's just coincidence. It's just coincidence. But how many coincidences does it take before it's no longer a coincidence? Isn't that amazing? There's so much going on with all of this. I don't know who the good guys are. Someone was asking me last night. So in this Russian-Ukraine thing, who's the good guys and who's the bad guys? Well, I grew up, in the 90s, early 90s, when I was 18 years old in the Army, it was simple. Communists were bad. We used to say, kill a commie for your mommy. Communists were bad. And America and the West was good. It was simple. We just got done having Ronald Reagan as president, Ronald Reagan, Margaret Thatcher. We were like, hoo-ah. Now it's not so much. Ukraine is siding with the extremist Islamic government of Turkey, which is heading further and further towards the extremist Islamic side. They are forming bands of mercenary neo-Nazis to fight the Ruskies. Neo-Nazis? With the swastika and the sea tiles and all that. That's weird. So who's on whose side? And what's going on around here? There's just too many weird things going on, Weird fires all over the place. You see that reported where these Mason buildings are on fire and got earthquakes everywhere. And I don't know, satellites falling from the sky. We've seen that. There's just too many weird things going on. The prophecy of Kim Clemente did have joined the springtime. Said that a new Snowden's going to rise. Waiting for that to happen. 5 million documents. Or was it 3 million documents? I don't know. You got this Matt Gertz thing. That thing's getting weirder by the minute. There's some articles on my Telegram if you want to go look those up. I didn't put them into the show. There's so much coming out. Is it Israelis are involved and there's blackmail and are they just is he completely innocent and they're just showing that there's gay lovers, there's all kinds of weird sexual things coming out with some of the people involved. The guy I can't think of his name, but the guy who is all involved in this down there they just got arrested for taxes and evading taxes and all that stuff. The tax collector guy that was going around pulling women over that were alone in their cars with his taxes, with his tax badge thing and lights on his car, which he shouldn't be doing. And if you and I did that, we'd be arrested, but they just kind of let him go. But that guy right there, when he was arrested by federal agents here the other day and charged with a whole bunch of child porn and all kinds of stuff, and they can make that stuff up too. Right? But as he was negotiating on the phone with him, he talked about he's going to commit suicide, said he had a gun, said he had an improvised explosive device. I'm telling you, there's some weird stuff going on around here. So I don't know what's all the deal with that. There's a whole lot happening there. They got all kinds of signals coming. Signals, 17 stuff. It's like, wow, what's going on here? So I'm going to leave you with what they call hope porn on the 17 things. It's a couple little posts that I found from some guys that have been pretty good in the last several weeks, months, whatever. So I'm going to leave you with these couple deals because I think that they're really good and really interesting and make you say, that's my whole goal of my whole show most of the time. Sometimes I'm funny, sometimes I'm to the point, but most of the time I'm, I want you to go, that's interesting, and look into it. That's what I want. At the end of the day, if I make you say, I've done my job. Okay. Remember that old show? What show was that? The black guy talk show late at night was actually pretty good. And he played the saxophone and things that make you say, you remember that show? I know some of you guys are probably already typing it in there. I can't think of the name of the show. It's totally drawing a blank. It's like right there. Anyways, so check this out. So this is from Q Frogman 5326. You can find him on Telegram. What Q says, nothing can stop what's coming. They mean absolutely nothing. No mistakes, no mercies, no deals. The goalpost never moved. Get what he's saying there. The goalpost never moved. You said it was going to be Christmas. You said it was going to be the 6th. You said it was going to be the 20th. No, Q never said that. Other people said that. I fell into some of that too. The goalpost never moved. Y'all just never knew where the goalpost was to begin with. No one does. This is 1776. Wake up. He says other words, but he's military, so you get what I mean. We have a country that needs saving. No miscalculations were ever made. Nothing was left to chance. Nothing. That's Frogman, Q Frogman 5326 on Telegram. And then there's this one, this forward from Spec Operator 17. This next part is going to be very tricky. This was the other day. This next part is going to be very trippy. And when he says that, I'm thinking of the brackets with what's his name, Cappy. What's that video? You know what I'm talking about. Anyways, moving on. Don't be scared, Patriots are in control. Don't give in to the fear. Don't give in to the shills and the trolls because they're out there. Remember what you've been told by 45. Remember that he keeps his promises. Remember what you've learned from 17. Take this knowledge with you. Though this next final chapter of the greatest story ever told, through this next final chapter, you're going to need it more than ever. Don't rush the process. Don't press it. Don't fight it. We have it all. Nothing can stop what's coming. These are two of the most interesting people that I follow. I'll just leave it at that. So if you want to follow them, just go to Telegram. That's where everything is right now. Till they ban everybody off there, because it'll come eventually, I'm afraid. So with that, I'm going to jump off here because I've got to get to work. Got to get stuff done. Got to go gather up some tires. You guys have a great day. Enjoy your day. Please share this video. Follow me on Rumble. Hey, yesterday Facebook took down my video, right? You all know that. But the good thing about that is I added like 60 people on my Telegram account. I went over 3,000 people on my Rumble account. I went over 3,000 people on my YouTube account. It just pushed people over to the other platforms. So make sure that if you follow me here on Facebook, that you go over to YouTube and find me, go over to Rumble and find me, go and have multiple sources to find me, because one day I may not be here or I may not be there. You understand what I'm saying? I can't help it. They don't like me. They don't like you. They don't like our thoughts. Think about this for a second. I've had videos that's gotten 40,000 views. Think about this from a business perspective. If you were YouTube or if you were Facebook and you made money selling advertising on content that was produced by other people, and you got a guy who could generate 40,000 views, would you not promote that guy? Would you not push that? Whether you agreed with him or not, would you not push that guy forward and put advertising? Whether you paid that guy or not, would you ever monetize that guy? Would you, just a pure business mind, me thinking, would you not push that forward and put advertising on it and make money? Who cares if you like the guy? Money's money. But see, these places, they don't care about the money. They've been bought and paid for already. They don't need it. Anyways, moving on. So make sure you follow me. Make sure you share it. I do appreciate everybody commenting. You guys have a great day.